Now, when partisanship trumps even the best interest that you are apparently trying to pursue, I would suggest that you have allowed your partisanship to blind you to the actual facts on the ground, and that really is too bad. Okay, in just a second, I want to talk a little bit about the magic power that President Trump has. He actually does have a magic power. President Trump has a magic power. His magic power is that he can get Democrats to defend anything, to defend anyone. This is his magic power. All President Trump has to do is say, I like puppies. And everyone on the left is like, puppies are horrible. And if he says, I hate MS-13, people on the left like, MS-13? You know, let's give him a second shot, MS-13. Now, sure, their slogans actually rape, steal, control, but let's give him a second shot. I mean, Trump doesn't like them. That means that they must be, like, kind of okay, kind of. Right? So Trump, as you recall, said that members of MS-13 were animals. Now, the truth is that I'm not a big fan of calling terrorists animals or monsters, but not because I don't think they're animals or monsters, simply because human beings can be animals and monsters, but monsters aren't real, and treating people as animals neglects the fact that all human beings have a capacity for evil, but that's more of a deep gloss. When Trump calls them animals, I don't have any moral objection to it. It's not like I'm, oh, well, you know, that's really insulting to the MS-13 members who chopped that guy's head off. I just feel terrible about that. But people on the left apparently felt the necessity to go after President Trump for going after MS-13. So Trump, as you recall, a couple of days ago, he said that MS-13 were animals. Then he was asked about it again, and he doubled down on it.
But I'm referring, and you know I'm referring to the MS-13 gangs that are coming in. And I was talking about the MS-13, and also, and if you look a little bit further on in the tape, you'll see that. So I'm actually surprised you're asking this question, because most people got it right. So when the MS-13 comes in, when the other gang members come into our country, I refer to them as animals. And guess what? I always will. But we're getting them out by the thousands.
Okay, so here's the magic of Donald Trump. The left immediately starts to defend MS-13. So here's Nancy Pelosi, dentures are moving, talking all about how MS-13, they're people. MS-13 are people too. Nancy Pelosi, whatever, man.
And so when the President of the United States says about undocumented immigrants, these aren't people, these are animals, you have to wonder, does he not believe in the spark of divinity, the dignity and worth of every person?
Oh, my God.
These are not people. These are animals. The President of the United States.
They literally cut the hearts out of living human beings. And she's like, do they have the spark of divinity? Do they not believe in the spark of divinity? John Legend, by the way, did exactly the same thing. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. So John Legend started tweeting out about all this. And I want to find you the John Legend tweets because they are astonishing. It's just amazing. So actually, before I show you the John Legend tweet, I have to show you the Ana Navarro tweets. So Ana Navarro, right, on CNN, she tweets out that, first she says that this was Nazi rhetoric. It was Nazi rhetoric for the President of the United States to call MS-13 animals because Hitler also hated MS-13 or something. So here's Ana Navarro saying this.
And it is a very slippery slope when you start dehumanizing people this way. It's what the Nazis did. It's what slave owners did. It's not what Americans do.
What now? Okay, and then she tweeted out, I love this, she tweeted out that anyone who uses the word animals to describe another human being is just a terrible human being. There is only one problem. Ana Navarro tweeted out that Trump and his family were basically animals. So there was that as well. Do we have that tweet? I think it might be 12. I'm not sure which one it is. In any case, John Legend did the same routine. He tweeted this out. He said, even human beings who commit heinous acts are the same species as us, not animals. Sorry, here's the one from Ana Navarro. She tweeted out, this is a direct quote, Trump is in very bad company. Nazis referred to Jews as rats. Slave owners viewed slaves as subhuman animals. Okay, that was from yesterday. In October of 2016, here's what she tweeted out. Should Donald Trump drop out of the race? Yes, he should drop out of the human race. He is an animal. Apologies to animals. Slow clap, Ana Navarro. I mean, just, my goodness, Donald Trump's magic powers. It's magic. It's like the Shia LaBeouf gif. It's magic. Incredible. So John Legend tweeted this out. Even human beings who commit heinous acts are the same species as us, not animals. I'm in the hospital with our new son. any of these babies here could end up committing terrible crimes in the future. It's easy once they've done so to distance ourselves from their humanity, but it's much more honest and challenging to realize that they were all babies once, and to think about what in society, their home life, etc., took them from baby to violent gang member, and then to think about collective action we could take to mitigate those conditions. And we should particularly interrogate the role of American policy in helping to make MS-13 the organization it is now. Dehumanizing large groups of people is the demagogue's precursor to visiting violence and pain upon them. It makes it easier to destroy their families and much worse. Okay, first of all, I'm happy to deliver violence and pain on MS-13. I think most law-abiding people are very happy to deliver violence and pain on the members of MS-13, one of the worst gangs in on planet Earth today. Okay, so there's that. I also love the idea that he goes from, they're not animals in MS-13. Okay, not animals. These were all babies once. They're not animals. They're your fault. What now? What did I do? Right, it's our fault. We created MS. What did I do to create Mara Salvatrucha? What did I do? Why was that my fault? John Legend does not explain. But John Legend's last name is Legend, and this means he knows what he is talking about. I do love the fact that, this is my favorite thing, is that he says, you know, when he looks at babies in the incubators over at the hospital, when he looks at the babies who are sleeping right after he says some of those kids could turn out to be gang members, and that's why we should treat gang members with respect. How about this? How about you rewind all those babies like 4 hours? Like 4 hours. Where were they then? When those babies, before those babies were in the nice little plastic things at the hospital, and they were all sitting there in cute little rows. Where were they before that? Like 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago? That's right, they were in the womb. The party that you support thought that those babies were not worth living 5 hours ago. So let me get this right. 5 minutes before the baby's born, not a baby, and not worth preserving, and not a human. An animal, a ball of cells, a fetus, whatever. That's the Democratic Party platform. 5 minutes before they are born, completely worthless. Now, human babies, beautiful, wonderful. Fast forward 30 years, MS-13 members, but those MS-13 members were once babies. And so we have to protect the MS-13 members. So here's what we have learned from the Democrats this week. Hamas, innocent. MS-13 used to be babies. NRA members are terrorists, as Debbie Wasserman Schultz said this week. And babies in the womb, not worth protecting. So the separation between the baby in the womb and the baby 5 hours later is apparently a greater separation than the separation between the baby now and the MS-13 member 30 years later. Okay, like Trump's magic power is very powerful. It is very, very powerful. Like to get people to say things this stupid, you have to, that's what it has to be. He must be like King Saul. He must go visit like the witches of Endor, and he just goes out there and visits with the witches, and then they tell him what to do. I don't know what power Trump has. I don't know whether he goes out back and sacrifices goats. Whatever it is, he has somehow trolled the left into being completely insane. Completely insane. Because I don't know how in the world you can get a rational person to say these kinds of things. It is absolutely beyond me. The ability of Donald Trump to troll, by the way, is so incredibly strong that he even was able to get Democrats to be very, very angry over this little joke video that he put up over Laurel and Yanni. So I don't know if I'm sure you saw this whole Laurel and Yanni thing where there's this piece of audio where you can either hear it as Laurel or you can hear it as Yanni. Some people hear it as Laurel, some people hear it as Yanni. And it has to do with the pitches that you hear. If you hear higher frequencies, then you tend to hear Yanni. You hear lower frequencies, you tend to hear Laurel. I've heard it both ways. Okay, so the White House cut this little cute video of various members of the administration who are talking about whether it was Laurel or Yanni.
So clearly Laurel.
It's Laurel. Definitely Laurel.
It's Laurel. But I could deflect and divert to Yanni if you need me to.
Sarah, it's been reported that you hear Laurel. How do you respond?
Clearly you're getting your information from CNN because that's fake news. All I hear is Yanni.
Oh man, that's Laurel.
Laurel. It's Laurel, America. Definitely hashtag Laurel.
Who's Yanni?
I hear Kofefi.
Okay, so that's funny stuff. Look at the comments underneath this video from President Trump on Twitter, and it's all like, why aren't you going out there and saving babies, President Trump? Why do you hate children, President Trump? How could you possibly be spending the 7 minutes it took to put together this video, President Trump, not focusing on the real issues in the world, like global warming? It's like, guys, he's made you guys crazy. I'm sorry. He's made you utterly insane because you're now defending MS-13. Like, what are you doing? Continue doing it, by all means. by all means, if you're a Democrat and you're listening to the sound of my voice, continue being this. Continue being these people, because all it's doing is helping Republicans get elected. There's a reason Republicans are going to retain the Senate and gain seats in the Senate. It's right now about a 50-50 shot Republicans retain the House. If you had told me this 5 months ago, I would have thought you were nuts, given the generic ballot. But